Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for Wednesday, the 18th of September.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
A few moving parts this morning on the podcast. Later on, Sodhi will be popping on to discuss all things summer of cricket. But it is our great pleasure to welcome back into a recently refurbished Export Beer Garden studio, James McOnie. Good morning, James.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Morena. How are you both?
Hi, James.
Hi,
well,
G-Lanes.
Jeez, I mean, like, we haven't seen you since pre-Olympics.
Yeah, how was Paris, James?
Yeah, the prelimps, that was a good time going over there. I went via San Diego. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So went there. I was shocked to hear the All Blacks didn't even know the movie.
You kidding me?
No, it was Ethan Blackadder and one other. But I mean, Ethan looks like he's on from Anchorman, right?
Yeah.
He looks like you chuck him in a news team fight. He's the sports guy anchor for the other network, for Vince Vaughn's one. They didn't know anything about it. Even Razor didn't really know.
Oh, that saddens me.
No, because that's a generational thing. Because you ask any of those sort of Beaver in his era, they could quote the entire movie start to finish.
Correct. So they pride themselves on Happy Gilmore quotes, Anchorman quotes, the whole lot back to front. In fact, if they had to sit exams and it was Happy Gilmore and Anchorman, they'd be top scholars.
Yeah.
But this is the problem. I was going armed with Anchorman sort of references thinking this is going to be tons of fun. And then I was shocked to the core to realise it just fell on deaf ears. I was like, nah, can't help you. Tamaiti Williams might have been the other one. Anyway, they told me their favourite movies. One was a Clint Eastwood movie, so it's not necessarily a timeline thing. It's just their choice was really highbrow quality movie. Like it was like like they're working for the E! Channel or something. It's like, this is actually a classic.
Can we link that to the results?
Oh.
Yeah, the Anchorman, well, they rectified it because Dog Roll said, I'm going to sort this out. And they had a team night and they watched Anchorman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to affect change.
Yeah, I did, yeah. And then they lost, of course.
But it's good. You've reintroduced that cycle of dudes sitting around quoting Anchorman back and forth at each other.
Yeah, exactly. That was important. Then I went to Paris and, oh my word, great city that actually embraced the Olympics so well. Sustainable. You know, they only built about 2 venues, which is a record for minimalist.
Yeah.
You know, like not splashing out big time. They should have the Olympics there every third Olympics, really. It's one of those cities that can handle it, big enough accommodation, you know.
No poos in the river anymore.
Well, I feel like that's going to happen again now. There must be a cycle of poo there. Eh?
I reckon there's a backlog. They had a big dam. They had a big dam, and then when everyone left...
Of logs.
And, of logs and sticks.
But if you get one of those sieves, you know, the pool sieve, and if you've got them all on the side of the sand sifting out the poo, then of course there's going to be a bit less. But once you take away those sieve guys, then you're fucked.
The poo returns.
Yeah, the poo comes back. But
you interviewed Raygun?
I interviewed Raygun. In fact, that is the only important thing I did the entire Olympics because I looked at the schedule and I went, I don't think I'm covering any medals here. Clearly, Sky thinks I carry a whoopee cushion around and that I'm just the, massive clown guy. So I was like going to all these random events, which I was happy about, but I insisted on covering breakdancing because I said it's making history.
Yeah.
And so I went with the intention of doing a story about, hey, how cool is breakdancing in the Olympics? Then all of a sudden there's this Aussie in full tracksuit writhing on the ground like she's out of Kath and Kim. And I was texting everybody, probably not you because it's the middle of the night, going, quick, turn on the telly. There's an Aussie just writhing on the floor and it's a crack up. So, yeah, that was Raygun.
Yeah.
I've got a photo. I took a screenshot. I need to find it. You have to talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, but it is basically Raygun dancing. And in the corner, you can see James McOnie on the balcony.
Phantom of the Opera.
Like, it's one of the great photos.
I think someone sent it in because they were rewatching all of the Raygun highlights. But you couldn't have known that was going to be a massive, like, viral meme when she was doing that, could you?
No, you could, because the issue was, Manaia, and you'd know this as well. You know when you go to an event and everybody is like, you're going, oh shit, that's unbelievable, geez, they're good, and then someone gets out there and you go, uh-oh. and then I looked at the camera operator beside me and I just went, what the hell is this? I was just cracking up, and you should not be laughing at a breaking competition. There I am, Yes. Yeah. And I think I am smiling slightly there.
So
because that's when she's doing this, the windmill thing.
Yeah.
She's in the windmill. You're sitting there. You're in your like a Hawaiian shirt potentially, or some sort of
Working style number.
working style print.
Yeah.
In the background there. But that was pretty. There's rumours also, James, that when you interviewed her, felt like there was a little bit of chemistry.
Yeah, there was a bit. I mean, look, I can't deny it. There's some, she's only human, Raygun, and special human, because I felt like my interview was the last kind interview that she had, because Channel 9, I'm not sure what they did with her, but then when I was talking to her, she was still on this high. She was going, and I
So
could
does
tell,
she think she went well?
I think she knows.
When she got 0-0-0 from all judges.
I think she knows she caused a stir.
Yes.
But then she didn't realise she was going to have like some guy, Danny Weidler from Channel 7 or Channel 9 chasing her down the street going, "What the hell was that, Raygun? How do you feel about disgracing the nation?" So that's what happened the next day. I think she had the tabloid reporters after her. But when she was wandering through what we call the mix zone, so they go and talk to everybody, I interviewed her. I realised that she was pretty happy.
Yeah.
And sincere about being there. And I was sort of asking questions like, you could put in the middle of my question, the hell, like, how the hell did you qualify? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead it was like, how did you qualify? You beat the Kiwis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, beat the Kiwis.
What the fuck is that tracksuit?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is all the fuck? And that's the thing, because you could go, what the fuck was that? But instead you go, what was that? It looks like you're inspired by wildlife, like that sort of thing.
That's expert journalism, James.
Yeah. So take out the fuck, and you actually can give them the respect that, they kind of deserve. They're an Olympian, right?
They're an Olympian.
She goes through NBC beside me. He was on his phone. He didn't even want to interview Raygun. I'm like, rookie error.
You're missing a trick.
Yeah, she's going to be the biggest deal, and she just wandered past. Then I saw her with a cluster of journalists, and I saw one in the front who's a little bulldog of a woman. I thought, you're an Aussie who's going to ask the inevitable.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? Do you think it's fair that you come here and represent Australia and put on a display like that? Or whatever though. It would have been, I reckon that would have been her first tough question. And then when she got out of, that area, I think she's even said that the media manager of the Aussie Olympic team started giving her advice on how to handle
His phone blew
the
up.
shitstorm. Yeah, exactly.
What advice would you possibly have been able to give it? Like, there's no way they could have seen that was going to be that viral, that everyone's going to be talking about it.
The only thing shitter than her was the sin, right?
Hey! Hey, Matt Heath got fired this morning, or quit. I don't know, which was it?
Yeah, he got sacked from Radio Hauraki this morning.
That's a bigger deal. Can we talk about Matt Heath? Because I feel like as an early agenda, I wasn't the earliest. He's the OG of the agenda, is he not, G Lane?
Yeah.
So have you sacked him from here as well?
No, he's still welcome here. He's still a big part of the ACC, but because I feel he's going to need a creative outlet.
Yeah. So if you don't know, he's evolved. He has announced that he's leaving the Matt and Jerry show and he's moving to afternoons on News Talk ZB, which initially I thought he was taking the piss because everything on their show is taking the piss, but it is real.
Yeah.
There's a press release.
As Scotty J. Stevenson said, great move for Matt because he doesn't have to pronounce Māori words correctly anymore.
Well, I mean, he will get that rhyme in healthcare money though, eh? That's the one thing that is always quite good.
And again.
That is going to be hilarious. I did say to him outside just before we came in here, and I said, I'm going to call that show every day. And he goes, we're going to have your number. Oh, fuck, your number is going to be blocked.
Yeah.
But I said, I'll get some burners. Don't you worry about that. Our goal will be get on your show at least once a week with some sort of question.
It's a segment that writes itself, isn't it, for the Agenda podcast.
He's gonna light up afternoons on ZB, and I can't wait. I can't wait, actually.
My big theory is a bit of a Yoko theory. I feel like Matt Heath's girlfriend has arrived, come on the scene, and suddenly he's left.
You're blaming Tracy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, Tracy, I know that you're a wonderful human and you've made a big difference to Matt's life, but I do feel like she's Yoko'd that show. And so, to be honest, I actually want to defend Yoko because I saw that documentary that Peter Jackson put together on the Beatles, and I thought Yoko wasn't, I thought she was okay. She was actually all right. She wasn't so bad.
Have you seen that footage of her bombing the interview, the performance with Chuck Berry and John Lennon? They're playing, and then she's in the background. She picks up a fucking tambourine. Then she starts screaming into the microphone. They turn her microphone off.
She got worse afterwards, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing, because in that documentary, it looks like she's just hanging out, and Paul doesn't seem that worried about it, and it's just their relationship. I think they're doing their own Matt and Jerry, aren't they? Where they just go, okay, it's time.
It is sad. I mean, I can't remember a time when Matt Heath wasn't on Radio Hauraki. You know, when I started
14 years.
Yeah.
14 years.
It's a long innings.
Oh, it's a very long. Started with the Matt Heath Drive Show, which was potentially the wildest radio show on the planet. There was no one listening at that stage.
Yeah,
right. Radio Hauraki was very much in the depths, but he's ridden it all the way last 14 years.
Big mistake calling it the Matt and Jerry Show. Do you not think now that you've got this massive brand?
Well, you have to hire another Matt, obviously.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, do you have to?
Jeez, who's going to be? Matt Chisholm?
Matt Watson?
Matt Watson, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few Matts.
Matthew Sinclair?
Oh, yeah.
What's he
Matthew
up to?
Ridge.
Oh, shit. There you go. There we go. Solved it.
Matthew Ridge on the Matt and Jerry Show.
But yeah, because other ones do the old, they do their Rumble and the, what's the other breakfast show called?
Oh, they got the Morning Madhouse.
The Madhouse and the Wild and Woolly Wowzers.
Yeah.
But,
Flash and Toast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Flash and Toast up in Northland.
Northland, I think. Yeah.
Is that called Flash and Toast?
Yeah. Well, I actually think that is their name.
Yeah,
so.
Toast. And Flash.
Oh, shit. I thought it was flashing toast, like a bales, cricket bales, but it's flashing toast.
when your
Popping up out of
toast,
the toaster.
it's when your toast is ready.
Flashing Toast.
Flaming Toast comes out.
That's a name sponsor. No, I think Flash and Toast.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Replacements. I see, geez, a lot of people sniffing around today, including Scotty J. Stevenson, Sumo himself.
Oh, look, he's got a good enough job at the moment, isn't he? And he's on SENZ, he's on TVNZ.
Yeah, but why is he here?
He's come to say goodbye.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Sort of felt like he came to dance on his grave.
Yeah. But we
He did have tap shoes on.
But we are immediately stealing away his ex and taking him to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So we're going to show him a better time. So Jerry's flying out with us tonight to the Export Ultra Beer Garden tour.
Yes.
So he's broken up, and then we're just whisking him away just to take his mind off it and just take him somewhere else.
I've given Manaia a couple of recommendations, but the one for Munich, apart from going to the nudist beach, which is on the river.
Oh, yeah, it's in the park, isn't it?
It's in the park. Is the
So I've heard.
Hofbrau House, which is a big old pub in the middle of town, which is kind of like it's a gateway drug to the
Beer Fest.
To the Beer Fest, yeah. So you go in there and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good atmos.
Any tips for Amsterdam? Have you been to Amsterdam recently?
No, I've never been to Amsterdam.
You've never been to Amsterdam?
No. I think there are tips. You will see tips.
Yeah.
And then you will get more than you bargain for it in that place, by the sounds.
Yeah, we need to right some wrongs there from our last visit. So.
We do.
There's a lot of tattoo parlours and a lot of people making regrettable decisions late at night.
I shan't be getting a tattoo in Amsterdam, I don't think. Or is this in Munich?
No, Amsterdam.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I won't be getting a tattoo in Amsterdam. Write that down. I probably shouldn't have said that to G-Lane.
G-Lane's like, challenge accepted.
Okay, you won't be.
Hey, look, the thing with the Matt and Jerry show is Jerry just keeps on going, doesn't he? Like, I don't know, he's an absolute chameleon. He's doing
the metronome. He's a broadcasting metronome.
He is, really. So he's just ploughing on. And whoever you need to get alongside, Matt Heath was truly weird and wonderful, and so you sort of need either to go down that track or do you just sort of say it doesn't matter because this thing is going to work anyway?
I don't know if dueling Jeremys would work if you had another Jeremy Wells sitting opposite from Jeremy Wells.
Well, who else?
Hillary Barry.
Oh yeah, Hillary Barry.
Oh my God.
They have a rapport.
I've got to say,
It's got to be Ridgie.
I've watched that show. They do not ad-lib at all. Like I work on a show, used to host Crowd Goes Wild, and the ad-libs are 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a minute 30 if something's happening, blah, blah, blah. On radio, if you have a voice break, how long is it, Manaia?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. On 7 Sharp, I reckon 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah. Bit of
Back and forth, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And so, they'd have to stretch it out and be like, keep going. We need a point, we need a beginning, middle, and an end.
Might be the first time they've ever actually talked to each other.
Exactly. I'm always amazed at how short their ad-libs are.
Well, it's a very short show.
What's
It's only 22 minutes, and of which I think maybe 17 minutes of that is out and about.
So Scrugger as well, mate. We still get some ad-libs in there. We're ad-lib central.
Ad-lib City.
I guess that what would happen is the Boomers might rain down Fury if there's any sign of personality.
Any waffle or personality.
Also, in that 10 seconds, Jerry inevitably will sneak in something like pussy or, something like that.
So I think finger bashing.
Yeah, so I think it's a bit of a short leash type situation as well.
Yeah, that's right. No.
What damage can he do in 10 seconds?
If you go past 15 seconds, it's a real dangerous territory for him. He starts to twitch.
Vagina. I love pussy.
It's like letting a talkback caller get to their second point. It's inevitably racist every single time.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk about some actual sporting events. Fellas, the Hot Springs Spas T20 Black Clash in association with Wolfbrook is both the longest name for a sporting event and also back for 2025.
And more importantly, James McOnie and Manaia Stewart, so is the Export Ultra Party Zone.
Oh.
So we launched that for the first time at Bay Oval this year, and it went off. And so we're doing it again. It's going to be down in Christchurch at Hagley Oval.
Yep.
Very limited tickets to our party zone. So you're going to just have to maybe keep your ears out for that, because the wait list for pre-sale tickets are out on the 2nd of October.
Okay. I have no idea when that is. What were the highlights and lowlights of the party zone for you last year?
Highlights were getting everyone to do the Viking clap and to get the chants going. The lowlights was actually just getting people to do stuff. No one would do anything until I told them to. They were like, what are we doing, G-Lang? I'm like, sing a song. What song? I was like, I don't know.
Let's come up with a song sheet.
Let's put a hymn sheet together.
Yeah. Hymn sheet is good. We can do that. We can give you that, G-Lane.
Great seeing everyone. They're all in Steady the Ship hats. All had their Export Ultra Party shirts on.
Yeah.
This year, Snacker Changi is joining the party zone as well, so everyone gets a big bag of Snacker Changis. The Hauraki Spa Pool will be in the front again.
I've got a song to start us off, by the way. I reckon we should play this one here. Very long intro. And in fact, the part I wanted to play is about 30 seconds in. This is Chris Gayle, by the way.
Universe
yeah.
I reckon this is going to have to be one of them, because Chris Gayle is coming this year. He's the draw card.
A massive upgrade from Brian Lara. No disrespect to the great man Brian Lara.
Yeah.
But Chris Gayle is still fresh off just playing, and he can still hit big sixes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a weekend at Bernie's vibe to Brian Lara, wasn't there?
A little bit.
Just felt like he was being carried through the whole thing. But hey, I was still excited to see Brian Lara. But it was just the disappointment of I don't know. You just thought he was still gonna have it.
I know.
Guess, you know,
even at 50.
Felt very sorry for him when he came off and I interviewed him, and he's like, I'm a 55-year-old man
Who's been drinking with Lee Hartle after that.
I'm like, what did you expect from me?
I know. It's like, but you look so good.
I know, he looked in great nick.
Well, it looked good enough.
Apart from the helmet.
Oh, yeah, they gave him a child's helmet. That did trick Chris Gayle into coming here, though, because in the press release he said, I saw Brian Lara playing, and he was like, what's this T20 league Brian Lara's playing in New Zealand against all the rugby players? I want to play in that. Yeah. Then he found out that it was just one game. He's like, brilliant.
Perfect season.
Yeah, big fan of the All Blacks as well, was Chris Gayle. Said he always wanted to be an All Black winger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can I make a couple of suggestions, G-Lane, for the Black
yes.
Clash? By the way, I love the coverage last year. What a broadcast. I felt like it was one of those collective moments where everyone seemed to have nothing to do that night. You know, even though it was the middle of summer, they go, we've had the Barbie, let's watch the Black Clash. It was texts flying around, everybody was into it. The mention of the charcuterie board. There's a lot that I felt to like. Spa pool, shenanigans.
Yes. Yep.
But I feel like that bonus over the bonus run over.
The dibbly-dobbly.
The doubly wobbly.
The doubly wobbly. Those runs should be added to the team total, but not the batter's total, because I feel like on the...
Oh, are they added to the batter? Yeah, that's...
Yeah, because it just skews everything the wrong way, and you kind of go, Kieran Reid scored 87, and it's like, doubly wobbly.
I think you're...
Add it to the team, still fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't add it to the batter.
That's a good shout. It should just be a separate line that has doubly wobbly.
Doubly wobbly.
Extras.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, extras, doubly wobbly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly, that last game in Tauranga, if you were a cricket fan, was the worst game of the lot. Cricket team, the rugby team really struggled. So
as a party, though.
As a party, easily
Tremendous.
the best. And as a broadcast, I think it was the biggest audience they've ever had. But they really need to get Chris Gayle. Chris Gayle's obviously playing for Team Rugby. They need to get Will Jordan back and fit. They need to get Jock McKenzie, and they need to get Geordie Barrett.
Yes.
Only issue being the Super Rugby season has been brought even closer to that start of that date. It's now the 14th of February, and this game is like the 19th of Jan. So I don't know if that's knocking too close to pre-season.
Well, I think Jock McKenzie will be in the Aces squad this year for the summer.
Oh,
will he
okay.
not? But I think he is actually playing in Amsterdam, so you might be able
Oh, is
to
it?
go and do some negotiations
Yeah,
with them
okay.
in the red light district.
Let us in.
John, it's us. We've got a contract here for you and a tattoo. But I think, like, if you, you're right. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You need that balance, the perfect balance in the force. I think, is it time to bring that Andy, what's his name, from Hamish and Andy back?
Oh, absolutely.
He was good, wasn't he?
Andy Lee. Well, game-winning catch.
Game-winning catch, proper broadcaster.
Good looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Good looking
I love
stuff.
Thursday last year as well.
Thurston was great. I felt bad because we were interviewing him from the commentary box and the directors were saying, look, you've got one more over with him. And it was obviously in his contract or something. But I was like, this guy's bowling at Brian Lara and he's got 3 absolute idiots in his ear chirping him. I was like, I felt like I was robbing him of a moment, you know?
Yeah.
That Kookaburra laugh as well.
He was great. And post-match, he was just walking around with a tray of tequila, and he came up to us and he goes, hey, you boys want some tequila? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, slammed tequila. He goes, fuck are you doing? You're going to wait for fucking everyone to have it, and I've got to get one. I'm like, sorry. He says, grab another one. I was like, okay.
This is what we do. It's a ritual.
Yeah. He said, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, sorry.
Got dressed down by Thurston.
Yeah.
He's a great man, and you're right, Manaia. I felt like, mind you, did he get him out?
No, Ali Williams did.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Shit, that's
Yeah,
After,
but there was another kid that got him out. Was it Baz's son or nephew?
yes,
Nathan
yeah.
McCullum's son. He bowled him almost immediately, and then as he was walking halfway off, a no ball was called.
Yeah.
Like, front foot no ball. Miraculous.
They're trying to save the legend.
But
So
Chris Gayle he'll go off.
Yes.
Well, Chris Gayle's, that says to me that the pre-match and the post-match is going to reach another level,
Fever
isn't it?
pitch.
Yeah, and he's good friends with Vittori as well. They played a lot at Bangalore, both as players and when he was coaching the team
Yeah.
as well. So I think Vittori, and he got put in charge of taking Brian Lara to all the great golf courses as well. So
Yeah.
he and Thurston, they went and played Tiadai and everything. So
Well,
I'm not sure how much of a golfer Chris Gayle is, though.
I think Bangalore will be the war cry on the night, won't it?
He did there. Bangalore! It's a Bangalore!
And unfortunately, New Zealand doesn't have many great strip clubs to take Chris Gayle to, is the other issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays golf.
Could you set one up on the... Oh, no, you can't. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the sponsors.
It would be so good.
If you
in
brought
the
a
middle
pole
of
out.
the ultra party zone, we just put a pole.
And then do your
Watch
worst.
his eye line just
But
go.
it has to be, you have to be, a hairy,
Oh, it's all
gentleman.
It's all inclusive. It's anyone.
By the way,
can.
Tom Walsh, who is a very good cricketer and played in a junior Canterbury team with all these stars. So
Really?
he was the only one who didn't make it. Well, obviously 2 Olympic medals, right, and Commonwealth gold. But you should invite him back because he's a proper cricketer.
Yeah.
But I did a story with him where we went to his training. He was training topless, big
Yes, I saw
big
that.
man, and now it's been hijacked by the bear loving community, the rainbow community. It's amazing, all the comments, and he's loving it, and we're loving it because
Were you topless as well?
No, I should have actually. I should have given them twice.
Give them
the
something,
love.
yeah.
A little something. But they were like, all the comments now are like, "Marry me, daddy," and all this kind of stuff.
Oh.
It's really good, and he's got a new fan base, Tom. So I recommend that if he does he fields topless for at least 2 overs.
You can make a bit of money off that.
Yeah,
He played
topless Tom for 2 overs.
He
right?
played in Tauranga 2 years ago, and I remember he hit the ball very, very hard. And had good timing too.
And I saw that rolling diving fielding effort. Did you see that?
No, from Tom
was
Walsh.
From Tom Walsh. I mean, this is a 135, 140 kilo man, and shit, he rolled well. But he was athletic,
Yeah.
He can move. He can move.
Glorious forward defensive when he walked out.
Yes.
Was that at the last Olympics?
No, he did a cover drive,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Cover drive, yeah.
Yeah, he
Held-
mixed
and
it
held
up.
the pose.
He mixed it up. Yeah, he was very, very good. And I mean, I guess who's Tom Walsh's age out of the Canterbury cricket scene? I guess Matt Henry, all those guys, Todd Astle.
How old is Tom Walsh?
32, 30?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's probably Latham.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all around there.
Yeah, Latham, all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all his teammates, yeah.
They'd know him. The actual Black Caps are playing this week, so actually I think it starts this afternoon.
Yeah, this afternoon.
Tonight. It's in South Africa. It's in Sri Lanka. Beautiful, beautiful ground. We talked yesterday about how they're going to take a day off on the Saturday because the Sri Lankan election is on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's going to take 6 days to get this thing going.
They used to do that, didn't they? G-Lane back in the day, have a rest day?
They did, and it was notorious. If you read all those, Ian Botham's book, and you read all those old school players of the 70s, it was used as a night where the teams get together on day 4 and just go and get fucking written off.
Yeah.
And then have the day off, have a recovery day, and then restart the test, which is so cricket that I love it. But obviously, as it became more professional, they're like, hey, why have we got this rest day where everyone goes out and gets
wasted?
And
then the over rate massively declines.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, matches are starting to go the other way because I've stitched some deal together while they're at the pub.
Yeah. Southee's closing in on 400 wickets as well. So he'd be the second Kiwi ever to do it behind Hadley.
Yeah, paddles, eh?
Yeah. Vittori finished on 361.
Yeah. What did the paddles have, 431 or something from
something around there,
like that?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, paddles. No one's going to touch his average. He's in 22, I think.
Nah.
So he will always be the GOAT. But that's awesome for Southee.
If he took another 30, would you consider him
the GOAT?
Southee?
No, it's got to be on average. I think
Okay.
It's got to be on average. And in terms of 5-wicket bags, which is the equivalent of centuries, Paddles is almost like he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I think his 5-wicket bags are right. I mean, I think he's got 30 odd 5-wicket bags. I need to get on an old wiki.
Yeah,
you can challenge me, Jerry. Where's Jeremy Wells?
Yeah, I know.
No. But don't worry, people will send in the voicemails. They'll let us know whether we got it right or wrong. But yeah, you're right. I just thought it was interesting that I guess it's a longevity thing, isn't it, for Southee? Not taking away from the quality of the bowler.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he is
Been around forever.
Yeah, and that's a testament to his fitness.
Yes.
That his body, especially a fast bowler, has stood up to it.
Yeah.
But he didn't play a lot of tests, Richard Hadley. I mean, if I get up the stats.
Well, this was back he played in the day when you'd only play a handful.
Yeah, so he only played 86 test matches.
Yeah, right.
So, compare that to now.
So 36 5-wicket bags and, 431 wickets. So it wasn't too bad. And then the bowling average of 22.29. So paddles, that's from 86 tests.
9 10-wicket bags as well. That's 10. That's in a test match across 2 innings. But that's 9 10-wicket bags. That's insane.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
That's fearsome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Southee just has to get 9 10-wicket bags and another 30 5 years.
Oh no, he will be one. He will go down as one of the greats when he clocks over 400, which I'm pretty sure he's targeting.
He could do it in this one. I think he's like 3 or 4 off.
Yeah.
If you remove the fact that he went to a very posh school, King's College
On
in
scholarship.
Auckland, on scholarship, Tim Southee is a farm boy from Northland who just loved his cricket and loved the Chiefs really because that was the boundary of the Chiefs when they started.
Yeah, that's
right. He's a Chiefs mana guy, and he's unlikely. It's like if you saw Southee and Bolt walking down the street, you're not going, There's an international pace attack.
Certainly not.
No.
He's 20 away from 400.
Yeah.
He's at 280. But he's got another 5 test matches, though. So, I mean...
Yeah.
But you're in India. It's pretty hard. You just got to bowl maidens, don't you, and build pressure. And then hopefully Ajaz Patel gets all the wickets.
Yeah.
But in comparison, he's had 15 5-wicket bags.
Yeah.
He's
had to share a bit more with old Bolty, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's probably his defence.
And just the 1 10-wicket bag for a test match.
So he's about 9 off. He'll get there.
Yeah.
Also, the All Blacks are going to play this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to Schmidt the Bed potentially this weekend? I stole that joke off Matt Heath. But he's gone now.
He's gone. He's history. Take it upstairs to Boomer FM.
Yeah.
Well, now he can legitimately ride his e-bike into work and not get judged.
Well, that should have been the first sign. It should have been the first sign.
Well, there were weekend shifts on ZB. He's written a book.
He was wearing a blazer when he didn't need to.
Yeah, there's been signs.
Writing a book about mental sort of well-being and stuff like that. It does feel like he's positioning himself as a kind of an oracle, a bit of a sort of a keeper of wisdom, And so he's ready to impart that uninterrupted without that pesky freaking Jeremy Wells. Yeah. So he'll just switch on the mic. I won't take your calls just yet.
Give me an hour or so.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of headlines about the All Blacks this week saying, "Oh, look, they're not to be underestimated. These Wallabies, blah blah blah." Are they just trying to drum up interest because we're actually going to pants the Wallabies this week?
If we don't win, this weekend, then there's going to be some serious questions asked. I think everyone's been relatively forgiving about South Africa because that is a fucking good team and you're playing away in South Africa. For me, I'm like, I love it in the fact that the All Blacks are almost underdogs now, and and the real fans will come out, and I quite like it. But saying that, Australia looks so shit that if we get tripped up by them, then we have to turn and look at ourselves and go, uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, the level of those Springbok tests are just like nothing else. It's like when, the eye test says that is something incredible, like a really great Origin game. You just go, okay, that's another level up.
Yeah.
Whereas every time you watch Australia play, you go, oh, yeah, it's
They're
like,
a tier 2 nation now.
They are. They drag teams down into their world, and you just don't want to be part of that, which is they're all about structure, even more so with Joe Schmidt, who is one of my favourite people in rugby, because when he was assistant coach of the Blues, he was just a lot of fun. They'd have staff games a touch, and Joe Schmidt would turn up and just do real silly things. And I think that's quite cool because he's the assistant coach and is happy to throw some weird freaking
flick passes,
and so. But I think he's anti-flick passes, and as a coach, I think he's very risk averse, and he's like no offloads. You can imagine if he had to coach Sonny Bill, he'd be like, "Hey, put that chicken wing away, put it away," because I think he's very like, you hit the ruck here, and then we go to here, and then we do this, and then so he'll have a grand plan. And as much as the Wallabies want to beat the All Blacks, I feel like Joe, just for his own coaching kind of mana, his the status, he will want it real bad.
Yeah. Want to fire a few shots at least.
Yeah, and if they don't follow that plan that he's given them, which I reckon would be so many X's and O's, you can imagine. It's like that meme where Zach Galifianakis has got all the
numbers floating
numbers
above his face.
The one
yes,
that's
Hangover.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
with all the what are they called? Maths problems. Yeah, just floating around. Anyway, you can imagine if the Wallabies don't follow that, then who knows what he'll do at half time. That's when you want to actually have a look and see.
Yeah.
We had a plan. And it's like this, like Tom Cruise from Minority Report.
Yeah.
And you still fucked it
Yeah.
up. And you're commentating that one this weekend as well.
Yes, I am. Yeah,
5:45 in the afternoon.
Wasn't asking, I'm telling you, you're commentating.
Yourself and Tony Lowe at 5:45. But we've got criticised for not doing the South African test, but we are back and we're doing those games on Sky Sport 9 and iHeartradio at the more, I don't know if it's more palatable time of 5:45, but it's the Australian Rugby Union running from the finals weekend of NRL and putting it on at 3:30 in the afternoon in Sydney. So that's why it's on at an odd time, but gives you a full night of footy though if you're into the NRL and the All Blacks.
It's actually quite nice, isn't it? Those hours for the ACC. Well, I haven't seen the team that obviously wins. Razor names it tomorrow. So, there could be some interesting selections. There could be.
Do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's played it pretty. I think he's played a pretty straight bat since he's been in.
Yeah,
Razor. He's quirky and a bit crazy outside of it, but I think Satiti was probably the biggest call he's made, I reckon, and maybe dropping Satutu was a big call. But I didn't think it was funky as people were expecting.
Well, when I say interesting, I think whatever team they put out in Cape Town, I think there'll be changes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So the thing is, like, I'd say whoever comes back into that, like, for example, if Caleb Clark is fit again, I think he comes back in.
Yeah.
I don't think Will Jordan he might not start at fullback this time. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like there's room for even a bit of tweaking between DMAC and Bowden. The 10-15 axis could be getting some tweakage.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know, but it's just.
Are you suggesting in your tone of voice that potentially DMAC might go back to fullback and Bodie to first five?
But yes. But I'm all for DMAC at 10, even though I love Bodie at 10 as well. I just feel like you got to stick with a guy and say, this is your position.
Yeah.
Have the most of the season playing there, and we'll work out whether that's going to work.
Yeah, I think all will be revealed this weekend. I can see Ish Sodhi waiting just outside the studio, so we're going to knock this thing on the head here. Thank you very much for coming in, James. We'll see you when we get back. Great to see you, mate.
Lovely. Cheers, guys.
Well, it's our great pleasure to welcome into the show for, I believe, the first time ever, Ish Sodhi live in studio. G'day, Ish. How you getting on, mate?
Yeah, going good, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's a story. You picked up a bit of a cough, mate. Bit of bloody monkeypox going on around the...
Well, what a morning to have a bit of a tickle in your throat, because you've been put through what we call the NZME car wash, where you just get kind of wheeled around to different stations and interviewed, I guess. But you're here with some news before we talk a bit of cricket. No, well, not that you're pregnant. No,
with twins.
Tickets are on sale for the summer. We've had the schedule got announced a month or so ago, but tickets are going to be on sale today, and exclusively too for people who sign up for the what is it called?
Cricket Nation.
Cricket Nation.
Cricket Nation.
So there's going to be an exclusive pre-sale period, and I'm picking that they're going to be hot property, particularly that English series coming up in November, December. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no, cheers for having me.
No worries. Now, we've found out that you're a bit of a bird man.
I am a bird man, yes.
Huge bird fan.
Yeah, very big fan of birds, yes.
Yeah.
Why? Sorry to ask it that way, but what is it about birds?
Oh, I believe in evolution, and I think they're just little dinosaurs with wings. So.
Yeah, right. They definitely are. We actually had David Newker in here last week, and we were talking about what's the biggest animal you could beat in a fight, and he said that because he's living over in Australia now, he's like, there's these things called cassowaries. They live in the bush. He's like, there's no way you could beat a cassowary, and I am firmly of the belief that there is not a bird on this earth that could beat me in a one-on-one fight.
Bro, I'd love to see you go one-on-one with an ostrich, bro, straight.
He reckons he could take it. This is a
No,
fight.
cassowary I could take. Ostrich, any bird, but ostrich is the one that gives me the shits.
It's a fight to the death too. Like it's a death cage fight situation.
Oh, it'd be pretty scary though. Their beaks coming at your eyes. And
I know, yeah, the beaks are scary. And again, we've talked about this at length ad nauseum on this podcast. I know I'll get scratched up, but I think I could just about get it. You know, all you got to do is get hold of the head.
They'll run circles around you though. I'm pretty sure the ostrich is like the fastest two-legged animal in the world.
Oh, that is
but it's in the octagon. So unless it just runs around the octagon, and eventually you could just grab it, take out its head, and then you got to take the legs. It's going to be it won't be pretty.
In my defence, you haven't seen me run, and I might be rapid myself.
Tickets for that are going on sale. I'm buying now.
Join ACC Nation to get your exclusive pre-sale of those tickets.
But how far does you're a bird watcher? Is that what you get into, or
you're a twitcher?
I was a bird watcher when I was 24, bro. Like, I used to go to like the local gardens and like take a little set of binoculars, and I'd be like 24 and there'd be 80-year-olds around me. And I was like, bro, like it's a bit too early for this. So,
you got time.
Yeah, so I'll pull back and I'll revisit it in probably a couple of weeks.
And so do you take a wee book with you and mark down what birds you see, or how does it work?
No, I'm still pretty novice, but I sort of been hunting not hunting. I mean, I don't hunt kiriru, but I hunt photos of kiriru.
Yeah.
So,
Are they delicious?
And no, that's political.
Have you? There's some kiriru out on Rangitoto. If you go out there, who are they're quite tame, and they're on the track, and you just about knock your head on them, and they're just big, and they just sit in the tree, and they don't even move when you go past.
Yeah, they're gluttons, aren't they?
One of the great birds. So do you partake in Bird of the Year every year? Got a bit of controversy last year with a bit of American involvement.
Yeah, what was it, the hoi-ho last year?
No, this year was the hoi-ho. The yellow-eyed penguin won 24, but 23 was picked up by John Oliver. Is it the Patiki? The crazy Australian one with the thing? Anyway, it won by about 400,000 votes because all these Americans started voting.
Yeah. I thought Patiki was flounder.
That'd be unusual for Bird of the Year. Look, I've probably totally mispronounced that name, but it was an Australian one with a crazy head.
Yeah, well, I was upset enough when I heard that it was an Australian bird. Now I'm hearing it's a flounder.
If the Bird of the Year is a flounder.
Well, the Bird of the Year's been through a bit, because remember that fucking bat one year?
Yes.
And it's not a bird, it's a mammal.
No.
That's bullshit.
It's got wings.
And now Australian birds won.
Yeah.
And then there was Russian involvement, there were bots, there was all sorts of shit, and then and you saw Scotty J. Stevenson out there and about the black-billed seagull.
Yeah, the black-billed gull. Yeah. It's an endangered bird, and is actually a freshwater bird.
Yeah.
So there's a fact for you.
Yeah, and who knew that any seagull was endangered?
Yeah, that's right.
Because you just see those bin chickens at the dump, the beach, and you just presume they're just everywhere, but not this one.
So if it's a freshwater bird, is it wrong to call it a seagull then? Because it's not, is it?
Well, it's not. It's called a black-billed gull.
Right.
But we just assume they're seagulls,
Yes.
don't we? Like when we see them out and about. So yeah, Scotty Stevenson actually corrected me once when I was out. I was like, bro, look at those seagulls, and he was like, nah, bro. That's a black-billed gull, bro.
It doesn't go anywhere near the sea.
Yeah, the cricket tour sounds really rock and roll, where you're on tour with Scotty, just talking birds and just correcting each other.
Pretty
on
abstract, but no, it's good fun.
Would you take the binoculars with you on tour back in the day and have a look, see what birds you can see overseas?
Mate, I've got a bit of regret because like we were in Zimbabwe on a couple of safaris once, and there were some wild parrots and stuff like that. I would have loved to see them up close with my binoculars.
Yeah, but you didn't take them.
Nah, well, I was only 22. Like my bird watching phase was about 24. So
Oh, right.
Oh,
hopefully there's another tour there coming up.
Yeah.
I will be taking like a big set of binoculars. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, the team are in Sri Lanka at the moment, and their national bird is a jungle chicken. Yeah, it's a jungle fowl, it's called, and it's a wild thing. You know, it's a wild chicken with like crazy feathers. And I went to a national park there, and the guide was like, "There's our national bird. It's a jungle fowl." I was like, "It's a jungle chicken. How cool is that?"
Yeah,
And it
pretty
came,
cool to see.
Came running out with all its feathers up in its head.
To be fair, ours is pretty much a jungle chicken as well.
Yeah, it's true. It's a flightless bird that lays massive eggs.
Yeah, I don't think we should be taking
How big are those eggs?
What, the kiwi eggs?
Yeah.
It's like 1/3 of the size of the kiwi.
Yeah. Massive.
It's the biggest egg per size of bird on Earth.
And,
Alright.
and that's the issue with farming them, because I've said for the longest time that we should farm kiwis so they don't go extinct. Because, chickens are never going to go extinct because we're farming them. Same with sheep, cows, that kind of thing. But it's just a gestation period issue, They're looking after that egg for too long.
Yeah, and it's only one egg as well.
And it's one egg, that's right. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Of course,
Just
because
one.
of the size. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't have
You
one
don't blast
carry.
out two.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's
Twins
right.
or not?
Nah.
No, I wouldn't have
Nah.
thought so. And that's why, chickens, they can blast one out almost every day. A well-fed chicken. So
They're like the village bike of birds, though, aren't they? The chicken. Yeah, everyone's having a go. That's why they're blasting out all the eggs.
Well, no, that's not how the egg.
This is not how I expected this podcast to
That's
go.
not how eggs work at all. We're coming up to, obviously, summer is, the season of cricket. You'll be playing. You do it for a job. But do you get roped into backyard battles over Christmas and New Year's? You must have a target on your back whenever you go home for Christmas.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, depends how many beers you've had at the time, but
Yeah.
like, it gets pretty competitive, especially with like people that are your age. Like if your mates come out
Yeah.
and stuff, like it gets pretty competitive. So yeah, there's definitely a hit on my head.
And so do you, I think we all do this in backyard cricket. You come out and you just toss up a couple of pies to sort of get a read on the batsman.
Yeah, and then your auntie nails you for a boundary or something. You're like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm going to let her have this. No, show her who's boss, bro. Nah. And then she pumps that one too. You're like, in trouble here.
I think you just retire back to the barbecue after that.
Yeah.
All my bird watching binoculars.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose they go hand in hand, don't they? Cricket and bird watching.
Well, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of dwell time, and I've always said this about cricket. I played a lot of cricket. It's a very strange game, played by very strange people. It's a unique characters come out of cricket, and the great Bill Laurie was a great pigeon fancier, and spent a lot of time just watching pigeons, and that's potentially something you could do on the balcony there, because if you've got plenty of time on your hands, just get the binoculars out. Saying that, if the coverage cut to Ish Sodhi on the balcony with some binoculars.
It looked pretty dodgy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That's the thing.
Be a different type of bird watching that,
I'd be like, what's he up to? And then your defense would be, I'm a twitcher, I'm a bird watcher, and everyone
Yeah.
go, whatever, mate, whatever.
There was
mate.
an albatross in the corner.
yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I know about most professional cricketers is that they are actually, it's probably better to describe them as professional golfers who every now and then play cricket. Are you a big golfer?
No, I'm not really. I've never been a big golfer, so like I think looking back, I probably should have played a bit more golf, because like everyone plays golf.
Yeah.
Like, and you always ask like, oh, what's your hobbies? Like everyone will say golf, but I'm kind of like
Bird
Bird
watching.
watching.
Yeah.
It's a bit abstract.
So when all the team were out playing golf, because it must be a big chunk of the team who just play golf. You go off and just watch a few birds, or
Yeah, now and then, like
Yeah.
but there's always like a contingent of people that will stay back at the hotel and stuff and find
Yeah.
things to do. Play a lot of table tennis on tour.
Oh
actually.
yeah, nice. Who's I heard Mitchell Satner's pretty handy.
Mate, any game that you put in front of him, Mitchell Satner's going to be number one.
Oh,
like,
he's that kind of guy, is
He's
he?
that kind of guy, just frustrating.
Darts?
As, like, mate, you know he's a gun darter, isn't
Oh.
he? 180, like
Oh,
Like,
really?
on a dime, like he's awesome. And
Really?
he'd do anything, mate, put his mind to it. And yeah, it's pretty frustrating to watch sometimes.
What about run it straight?
Bullying
Okay, surprisingly
Phillips.
strong.
Really?
Well, he's so like long and like, you know, he's got such big arms.
He's got
and,
that
yeah.
sinewy strength, eh? Has he got sinew strength? Like you see a real skinny dude and
Nah, man,
really
he's
difficult
strong.
to tackle as well because it hurts.
Lifts heavy weights. Yeah, no, he's tough as.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have picked it. Outside of those, what do you get up to when you're away on tour? Are you a gamer? Do you take a console with you? Or outside of the bird watching and training, what do you get
I think
into?
I've got a bit of an old soul, eh? Like I actually went to a gaming convention the other day and like tried to play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played
Had
it
no idea what was going on. Like, definitely like not really up to speed with that sort of thing. So, used to play Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah.
Sonic the
Karts.
Hedgehog,
Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter at the fish and chip shop,
Yes, yeah.
Papa Toy. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I played a little bit of Fortnite, but I just got lit up by 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
And you know how they can talk to you and stuff. Well, it was the most humiliating. The 7-year-old, and it was my son and all his mates, and just lighting you up every 5 seconds. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Can't get it. I'm out of here.
Building a castle around and then
Yeah.
like humping your dead carcass.
Yeah, they're all dancing all over
They're
the top of
dancing
you.
on your grave. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's humiliating. That's an absolute killer. Anyway, I feel like you're going to lose your voice. But before you do, we need to get through Lane's infamous 22 and 2.
Yeah, we ask these of every guest. They're a quick fire, 22 questions in 2 minutes. Cool. You just answer and move on. We've asked the like Kyle Mills. We put Kyle Mills through this. He did struggle at times. Tim Southee's been put through it, as has Kane Williamson. Liam Lawson been put through it as well.
David Newker.
Yeah.
Recently.
He was recently. Okay, so it's very quick fire. So it's yes, no kind of answers. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sex or drugs?
Sex.
Hard or fast?
Fast.
Would you rather wake up nude next to Hamish or James Marshall?
Oh, I have woken up nude next to James Marshall.
Okay, there's the answer there. Would you rather spend an hour watching David Warner replays of him scoring 100 or get waterboarded by an ex-Navy SEAL with PTSD?
Second option.
Thai or Indian?
Indian.
Eat out or dine in?
Eat out.
Freddie Mercury or Elton John?
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Wet or dry?
Wet.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Grant Elliott, Heath Davis and Matthew Sinclair. Who's got the biggest downstairs?
The hairy javelin, I reckon.
What cricket legend would you bring back from the dead?
Sir Donald Bradman.
If that ceremony to bring back Donald Bradman resulted in you talking like Kevin Peterson for the rest of your life, would you still do it?
Yeah, probably would.
Have you ever fired a gun?
No.
Have you ever killed anything bigger than an insect?
No.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
The most famous person I've met is David Beckham.
Ooh.
It's hot.
Yeah. Oh, Laura McGoldrick was saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was, yeah. Anyway.
World Cup.
Yes, because she interviewed she had Tendulkar on one side and
Yeah.
Beckham on the other, and she said it was one of the greatest moments she'll ever have in her life.
Totally.
Anyway,
Now she's hosting Game of Two Halves.
yeah. If you had a reoccurring nightmare that a snowman killed himself with a hairdryer, would you be concerned?
I would be severely concerned.
If you were offered a knighthood, would you accept it?
Oh, I would have done something pretty special, but yeah.
At what age do people say they've had a fall instead of falling down?
63.
Nice. Have you ever screamed at someone, "Google me, motherfucker"?
No.
No. If you were going to get a statue made of yourself, where would it be? Where would you put it? And what pose would it be?
Or it would be, I don't know, maybe like at the Native Gardens in Hagley Oval, like an eagle, like a bird watching scenario with a pair of binoculars around my neck, and maybe a cricket ball in both my hands,
Like
with a slightly bent wrist, like I'm about to bowl double leggies.
Hidden in a bush, so you really got to look for it.
I'm still here, brother. I'm coming for you, kiddo.
I must admit, that's one of the best answers we've had to that question. Tim Southee's was he'd be rearing up on a stallion, fully nude, and he'd put it on the front of Dan Vittori's house.
That's good stuff.
Hey, thanks for coming in, Ish. Tickets on sale today. Just join up to Cricket Nation to get your hands exclusively on that pre-sale. get in there quick, because particularly that first series against England's going to go. And then we've got Bangladesh and then Pakistan throughout the rest of the summer. So get on there and grab your tickets. Ish, thanks very much, and good luck for the summer. Hope to catch up with you then.
Cool, thanks, boys.
Thanks, Matt.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.